multiple sections, but overview you can divide the paper into subjective and objective, right? Subjective is about 50%, objective is about 50%. What comes into the objective is very short answers, MCQ and MSQ. So that falls under the subjective, the objective part. And in subjective part, you have to write essays based on whatever the questions are, and that will be like 100 words to 150 word questions will be there. So that's the, you can think of that the division is like that: objective 50%, subjective 50%. In objective, there is further division to very short answers, MCQ, MSQ.
Okay, sir. Got it.
Yeah.
Sir, I also wanted to know that if the question was subjective, how will it will get marked? Like uh, how much will get?
See, I've been, if you, I'm not sure how many of you have been to previous live sessions. Just give me a second. So just give me 1 minute. Some students are not able to get the link and they're replying in the G space. Is Rennie over here in the meeting? Can someone please, if you are in the meeting, can you help her to join the right meeting? I think I've shared the link in the G space as well, but I think she's not able to find it.
Sir, I joined with that thing only.
Yeah. Okay. Anyways, someone please help her. In the meantime, Mike, I can answer the question. So your question was regarding the evaluation of the subjective questions, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So evaluation will be done by the professor himself. All the quizzes will be evaluated by the professor. So we'll be getting, so it is like this, right? In this particular course, professor is very active. So they will be having rubrics for the subjective questions, which will be provided by the professor himself. And based on the rubrics, there will be evaluation. And similar evaluations, we have done the discussions for your assignments as well. I'm not sure how many of you were present in graded assignment session which we had. I hope we had. I think that session was really interactive and was fruitful for the students. In that particular session, we discussed that what is expected out of you from the submissions, right? And for that particular matter, we have also shared a detailed feedback on the graded assignment 1. So whatever feedback you have received in your GA1, please take that as well when you are writing your answers in the graded assignment. So basically, rather than writing like very superficial statements or journal statements about the question which has been provided, if you could be more specific. And I'm not talking about detail. I'm asking you to write very like whatever the word limit is there, be within that limit. But rather than being general, be very specific. And based on your observation, so see, in this type of a course, in the subjective questions, right? So the thing is, your approach might be different from other students' approach, and your point of view might be different from other students' point of view. And that's why we have subjective questions, because we can capture both the like if your reasoning and if your insights in the subjective are correct, it might be different from other students, but if it is correct and it is reasonable, that will be accounted for in the evaluation.
Okay, sir.
I hope you're understanding that particular point. So there is there will be some rubrics, but the rubrics will be at very high level. Based on what you put into your answers, the specificity versus generality, and based on that, you will be evaluated.
Okay.
I hope it answers the question, right?
Yes, sir, I got it. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, on that note, Especially from the objective questions point of view, how important would you say it would be for us to remember the all of the specific examples discussed in the lectures as opposed to just the principles and the wisdom?
I would say rely mostly on the principles and not the very specific. See, we are not going to ask you like uh, what was the specific detail about the in the Florence Nightingale visualization, like why things like that type of questions won't be there, and it doesn't make sense in this course. Like if you think from this perspective, right, those type of questions doesn't make sense.
Right.
The more important is what you have understood from the visualization, what we are trying to tell the story, what are the economic whether the whatever the visualization is there, whether it is economical, like that's what we have discussed in week one, right? So whether that is economical or not, is it truly telling the story, or there are some misinterpretations which are there in the visualization. If you want to present some kind of an information in a particular way, so you have seen the topology visualization topology in week two, so might have understand, like if you have you are given with a some what do you say, some situation that you want to visualize. So what type of visualization would be most preferable for that particular situation? So that kind of application based questions will be there rather than the rote thing. So basically, you need to have understanding of visualization topology. Whatever we had in the previous session one, and today we have a strength of about like 25 students, but in the previous session there were like about 10-ish students were there. So I will repeat that few things for you all. So rather than just knowing the name of in the visualization topology, you have in the based on the form, the classification is either hierarchical, geospatial, and then the two other things are there, right? So rather than just knowing the names, what actually means, right? What kind of information is being depicted by those visualization, and in which all situation those visualizations, how you use them. Application based questions will be there rather than. I hope that answers the question, right? So if, for example, I just give an example. If there is one visualization which is matrix graph is there uh, in the network topology. So there is this network based on the network also. Let me take to the slide. Uh, let me share the screen as well so that you can look at that on my entire screen. That would be much better. So you see over here, right? Now this is based on the classification of the visualization. What are different visualizations? So you see you have a temporal, you have hierarchical, you have network, and in the network you have something called as matrix chart. So we expect you to understand what a matrix chart is, what are the applications where this matrix charts can be used, or let's say let's take an example of what is this LUVL diagram. How and where you will use this, or maybe you can look at the example like what are the examples of ring charts, how the ring charts look. So we understand. We want you to understand that kind of. You have an understanding of that where you would prefer to use a ring chart over a sunburst chart, and if some information is being depicted with the help of sunburst diagram, and you ask you to critique on that, like the graded assignment one which is there, right? Can you come up with alternative visualization which you know of, which can depict that particular same information more effectively? So the effectiveness of the visualization is the part of you need to understand all that kind of concepts, and it doesn't. So you these things will come up with the experience, and I've been repeating it multiple times in all my live sessions. That is, even if you have time today, go to the graded assignment one, whatever you discussed right now, right? Based on the discussions, go to the graded assignment one. You have seen, if you scroll to that entire submission which students have made, you will come up with multiple types of such visualization. And if you do an exercise of doing the critique on the effectiveness, comparison of using a different visualization compared to what has been used, and all that exercise, if you will do, you will get a better understanding, because this course and the expertise come with the experience. More the visualization you look, more the expertise you will get with the. So just watching the videos is not necessary. And I have been repeatedly saying this in the live sessions, but I want to repeat it today also, so that you have time till like I think the quiz timing is from 2, right? If I'm not wrong, I'm not sure the timings for this quiz. It's in the morning or in the afternoon. You know better. But you have time. I guess you have some time for that. Please go to that. Do this particular exercise. I've been that particular exercise will really help you. and understanding this effectiveness thing and all that which I just mentioned. Same thing with the same example I will be taking with the week 3 content as well. Is someone trying to join? No. Everything is right. My screen is visible to everyone. You can see. Can someone please confirm? You can
Yeah,
hear
yeah,
me?
it's visible.
Yeah. So in the same example, right? In this example in the week 3, if you see, let's say that we go to the cartogram on the isoplets. So let's go to that particular section. I hope by now you have seen all this content and this is familiar to you. Just I'm skipping some contents right now, but I hope you will be able to understand that. So this is given. This is one visualization over here. Let's look at this particular visualization which is there on the screen and try to understand what this visualization is telling you. What story is this visualization telling you? I want you to do this exercise with me here in the live session now. Can you just tell me what is happening over here? What? Just look at the visualization. Look at the legends which are there. Should I zoom in a bit?
It shows the number of jobs gained or lost in a particular location for a particular segment of time.
All right. But if I ask you to write into 100 words, how will you do that?
So we can consider the jobs gain are little bit biased. It's almost to the east of US. We can see most of the jobs are gained, and we see less jobs gain in the west of US. So we see a lot of concentration related to jobs are always located on the east of America. Like that, can we conclude it, or can we just add that data?
Also,
Yeah.
if you're familiar with the geography of the US, you will find that most of the population resides in that area because of the
Yeah.
forest area which is there in the center, right?
Yes, correct.
So you need to complement this particular information with that information as well. But did you observe what this data is telling you? It is telling you job gain, job lost, but no one focused on the legend which is given on the above, right? This is a timeline bar which is given for years, right? And this particular story is for 1999.
Yeah,
Okay.
so it also
So this
depicts the
information is
fact.
in 1999,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
So, and the thing from the exercise which you have done in the graded assignment 1, that is the critique of this particular visualization. If you ask you to do it, can someone do the critique for this particular example?
So
I think
one thing I would point out is that there are a lot of overlapping circles. So it kind of might be hard to, depict exactly how they were grouped together or what location exactly they are grouped in terms of like the jobs gained.
So can someone discuss about the effectiveness now, like the choice which has been made by the person who was handling this data to visualize this particular information. He has come up with this kind of a data where it is represent the circles over here, like the bubbles are being represented to depict the size of the number of jobs which are gained or the lost, right? And so, can you come up with an alternative which can be used in this particular visualization? What is the effectiveness of this particular visualization?
Yeah, so in this week also, like the Rasagya was teaching, he also showed some another example where like there was a kind of graph where if you zoomed out it, then it was only showing some kind of points, and if you zoomed in, then it was showing like particular density in some particular area. So based
Mhm.
on that, yeah, I guess this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if whenever he was zooming in, then it was expanding and it was showing the more specific numbers. Otherwise, it was just showing these kind of marks. So maybe that can be done in that particular
Yeah.
graph.
And if we go ahead And like these were the dot and dot plots which are being used over here. Specifically, dots are being used to depict some kind of an information. And now you go ahead and see the various other example of geospatial plots like this one, which is a chloropleth, right? And this is also, so can this type of a plot can also be used to depict job like whatever the information it was, job gains and job loss over here in this particular visualization, right? Even you can use the chloropleth for that also. This is a chloropleth diagram, right? So can you, so the objective MC, I'm not saying that some whatever you're telling is right or incorrect. Nothing is like, based on your arguments, we can see what is right and what is wrong. You have different perspective, and might be your perspective might be more effective than what I have in my mind right now. But the objective here, what I'm trying to point out is, when you look at the particular visualization, rather than just talking about what this particular plot is doing, like that's what when we started, we need to understand and we need to understand that particular aspect also. Yeah, someone raised the hand. Can you please ask the question? Yeah, you can unmute and ask.
So one question here. So when we are told to critique a visualization, do we also have to consider the legend as well? Because if you go back to the diagram which was shown, the legend shows the time scale 1999, but it also showed the scale of different years. Now, though it might be an interactive on a website or a different portal, but as a single image, that does not mean much, and
That
it's
is
just
true. Yeah, that
a bit
may
of
be
a
a part of
noise.
your critique. Correct.
Yeah, the time scale above, like 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 2, that all
Yeah,
will
that
also.
may be a part of critique, but do you think that is really an important part? It's just giving you this information that it is for the 1999. Either you take it as just simply written over here, written over there, but more emphasis on the information which is being presented over here.
The issue is because I feel like whatever I'll be writing in the exam would be very similar to like the other students what they will be writing, because it would be a time bound kind of thing. So, and I lost marks in GA1 because of that, like kind of a similarity in the bubble sort that I implemented. So just wanted to
See,
keep it kind of a that's
similarity,
it.
there's a difference between similarity. Okay, I'll tell you one thing, like the statement which I mentioned, right? Something is about generality and specificity. If your points are specific, even if they're similar, that's all right. But you're making a general statement. There's a difference between making general statements and making a specific point. And the point which you're highlighting, right? That falls in this particular aspect where, which is specificity versus generality, and the same thing which I mentioned earlier.
Okay, understood.
See, I'll give you an example, just a very random example. If you see over here, I see that the this is not a concrete example. You cannot. I'm just giving. I'm making up this example over here. Uh, if I make a statement with the orange color which is being used, the gradient which has been used over here in this particular example is not good. It is, you know, distorting some sort of information. If I just don't add distorting some information, if I don't say what kind of information it is distorting, if I just say this color which has been used to depict this particular information is, not is bad or is it good, those statements are general. But if you add specific points, why do you think that particular point makes sense? Then it comes under specificity. I hope that answers your question, Divesh.
Okay, it's kind of adding explainability to a general statement, making it more
Yeah,
specific.
making a specific point to rather than making a general statement. Yes.
Oh,
Any other questions? See, it would be much more if you ask all your doubts right now. That will be
Yet
itself more
another
nice.
doubt, sir. So
Yeah.
in this case of US map, we just noticed that just a minute, sir.
Which one?
The
This one?
previous example, yes, sir. So
Okay.
in just so in order if we are giving our critic or our alternatives, it is supposed to be on the same geo visualization map, right? So, rather than a typical bar graph or other sorts of visualization, we should not give critics such that it aligns to that, right, sir?
Okay. One more thing. You can do that. There is no harm in doing that. But if you're suggesting some alternatives, you need to specify why do you think that that will make more sense than using this kind of a visualization. I'm not saying that every plot which you will see, you need to write that particular point. I'm just giving you examples right now. So don't say that in every critique you need to put that. Maybe the particular plot which has been used is the best visualization which is there and which is very effective in telling the point which the authors are trying to tell with that particular visualization. You can mention that kind of a statement as well. Just an example, if you think that there's some other visualization that can be used to depict this particular information more accurately, more sound, more economical, then state that particular point. If you understand, if you go through the first video of which was in the course, right, introduction to visualization, professor mentioned 3-4 points on the whiteboard about what does the visualization do. It should be economical. If you remember, we mentioned a point of economical visualization. What does we mean by economical, right? There were other points as well. If you go through that particular video, if you will see that it tells a story. It may not tell a story, but it is just an illustration. It is just exploration and all that, right? So you have gone to the week 4 content. You know what visualization, what we are doing right now. I hope that answers your question, right?
Yes, sir. It did, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Others?
Sir, in this map, actually, these bubbles, it is not clear what it represents actually, whether it is a city or a particular area or anything. So it is
That is
really
correct.
confusing.
Yeah, that is correct. And that you see, you came up with this kind of information that it's not very clear on what it is representing over here.
Yes.
Because if you see, this is not for the entire state. You can see that for a particular specific state also there are multiple bubbles.
Yeah. Whether
Yeah,
it's a geographical area or something or a city, it is not clear in this map.
that is true.
So,
Yeah, that is true. Yeah.
So, in that case, we can recommend that these should be based on this geographical area or something, so that it will be more easy to understand.
It is more or there can be possibility that you can add legends or some text to help understand the viewers what actually you're trying to depict.
Yes. Okay.
Right. So these are the points which you're coming. So my what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to emphasize you all to see the visualization from a critique lens. Try to understand what could have been better, what is good, what is bad, and also to have an understanding of
So
how
with this, just
effectively a
one will not be able to exactly quantify, right, the jobs gained for each places.
Yeah. I'm not able to understand like the Sashi mentioned over here in the previous comments, right? Just right now that we are not able to understand like which area is it, ward, it is a city, is it the entire state or just couple of states? Where what is this, the particular bubbles tell us? All right, so I'm just going to the index now. Anyone else has any doubts?
We can add
Excuse me, sir.
even in the critique or effectiveness, can we add our own assumptions regarding those as well? Like what could
Mention your assumptions. Mention your assumptions if you have any, and based on the fact check of your assumption, that how much reasonable assumption is. So it depends on, like, that's what I mentioned, right? Your answers are subjective, and that's why the evaluation is also subjective. It is not like one way of there is only one track which will be right. There can be multiple tracks which are right, and based on the assumptions, you just mention the assumptions, and if you feel that that assumption is really important on the information which you are, like, whatever you're trying to convey, then do mention it.
Okay.
Anand was speaking something.
Yeah, I was saying, well, this is basically very superficial, it seems now. I mean, the circle, we can't guess the location by using the centers over there. I mean, say maybe, you know, at least gives the information somehow. Only thing is that
Yeah, what is the
it's not
center?
very
Is it a
specific.
city? Yeah, it is a. So see in the map, right? We don't know the. Depends on the depth of visualization, right? The map which you're
Yeah,
using, how information depth, which is does it contain?
yeah. I mean, say the moment I tried, I mean, asking the question, the same moment I got the answer as well. It seems like.
Yeah. So see these points, like right now, which we're the discussion which you're having, these points will come if you do that exercise. I am really emphasizing on this particular fact. Please go to your graded assignments, graded assignment 1, graded assignment 2. Look at the visualizations which the other students have put in on the on the GitHub issue. Do the critique for yourself to get the experience, the exposure and to gain that lens with which you can look at the visualization. From my personal experience on this, while evaluating your assignments, many of you have used LLMs for that, and to get those critiques, most of your points were journals in specific. If you go through the comments which the students have written, look at the visualization, try to do your own critique. It's a 1 or 2 hour exercise. If you do that for yourself, you'll get a better lens to look at the visualization, and that's really important, I will tell you. So right now, the discussion which are coming, right, whatever points you are bringing up over here, that is also coming up with the discussion which we are having right now. Some person said, okay, if you look at this particular visualization with Glenn said, the bubbles, like the point of the session mentioned, and there was other person who mentioned something different. And now you're getting, and based on that also, like your brain starts to look at different angles for a particular visualization. So I would say, like right now, if you have gone to the week 4 contents right now, just you have a mental picture of what is there in the content. If you have understood, like the example which I gave you for the week 2, right? If you have understood the mentions, just rough idea about these visualization, what these means, how do they look like, how they are different from each other. If you have gone through that exercise, the entire week 4 content, and you have if you can spare some 2 hours, please do that exercise. Go through the graded assignment 1, look at different types of visualization. Now, when you were writing your visualization, right, when you were doing your graded assignment 1, you did not had any idea about the topology of the visualization or the geospatial aspect, like what are the various types of visualization can be used to depict information. Now you have that information. Even you will go to your own critique, you will get better understanding. Okay, this could have been done better. This could have been what very very basic answer which I have written over here, or wow, what a nice point I mentioned at that particular point. All these things will come, and you will get a better lens to look at the visualization. I'm again saying this will come up with an experience.
So this is only part of like only for subjective questions, right? Which is all these explanations, critiques.
Yeah, and that compromises of 50% of your. I'm not sure how many of you have gone through the previous. How many of you have the access to previous year quiz? Yeah, someone wanted to speak something.
Sure, yeah, we don't have. So is it available so that we'll have at least have an idea like what are we expecting, what could we be expecting?
Well, let me see.
That questions are available in two modes, I think. There is one set of questions called data viz, and I don't know whether the same is for our course. They are available in this space, quiz space and all, but it is similar to our questions.
Let me see. Let me see one thing if I can share it here.
So it might be a silly question, but since we are discussing the PYQ, so for the subjective, do we just write the option number and the option, or do we have to write the whole question and then the option?
Don't write the whole question. You have like 4 hours. If you have taken 4 courses, if you have taken 3 courses, you have 3 hours right now. If you just start writing the question as well, right, it will be a nightmare for you to complete the
Yes.
entire like other courses as well. Just write whatever the number is there for the question, just write that and start answering.
Okay.
So it's going to be just return, or should we draw some maps or something like that? We did it
You
in
will
the,
not be needing to draw any maps as such.
okay.
You just have the way you will be writing, you will be handing over the answers is just the text.
Okay.
If there are maps and everything which is needed, we have already provided that. You will see on the your computer. If you see that a particular visualization is blocked, please click on that. I'm not sure how many of you are aware of that particular feature in the TCS. If a particular visualization is not clear, if you click on that, it zooms out. I'm not sure how many of you are aware of that, but there is this particular feature in the TCS.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Is it for why is it not happening? Okay.
I think it was written as DVD, if I'm not wrong.
It's here. So okay, just to tell you, don't go with the marking schemes and such from this particular visualization over here. Okay, that's one point. The marking scheme has changed. I have already tell you how the marking scheme is. 50% is for subjective, 50% is for objective. In the previous terms, objective had more weightage. I hope that point is clear. There were like, as you can see, you have some MCQ questions. These are very basic MCQ questions. You might find different types of MCQs and all that. But this is just one example. Just going through the paper over here. This is just one part. You will be having part A as you can see. You have part B, which is for MSQ. And then you have a part which is for the subjective. As you can see over here, you will be given some sort of visualization. There will be some questions which you have to do with that particular kind of a visualization, and that you have to write the answer in about 100 words, not more than 100 words, basically. And you can add some sketches or drawings if you want on the paper, but this entire thing is not that you have to entirely plot the visualization and such. You need not to copy the entire visualization which is there on the sheet. Just if you see that there's some infographic which you want to add to complement your answers, then you can do that, but that's completely up to you. And you can see this is how it is there. Right now you can see that there is only 2 questions. Right now there will be about 5 subjective questions. That is how the numbers are. It gives you an like how the questions will be, but it's not exactly the same question, same pattern, because you're not following there. You see here you are only the 3 parts are there: MCQ, MSQ, and what is that? The subjective part. There in the paper you will be finding 4 sections. One is for very short answers, probably 3 or 4 questions will be there. Then you have MCQ, MSQ, probably total would be like 12, 15 questions will be there. And then you have subjective, which will be having 5 questions. So you can divide the entire paper into 2 sections: objective having 50% weightage, subjective having 50% weightage. Not exactly 50, it may be 40, it may be 6, like 40, 55. That that there is an error of plus 5 minus plus minus 5%. I hope it gives you an answer. Anything else? This is, I think, the previous year paper, which is the previous to previous term paper. Yeah. Anything you want to ask now? Just for your help, the people who don't have this, if you want to go through that, I'll be putting the link on the chat right now. Yeah, Manav, I've already done that.
For MCQs and all, we should, if there is a graph or something, we'll just write the option as A, B, something as answer, right? That will enough.
Yeah, that will be enough.
So it will be equally divided, sir, 50-50.
Yeah. Subjective, objective, 50-50 plus minus 5 error.
Plus or minus? Okay, fine. Okay.
Yeah. There is a chances of plus minus 5% error. Like it may be 45, it may be 55. That is there.
Even
I really don't
small
remember
doubt.
straight now. Someone was saying something.
Yeah, sir, I'm asking like, do we have to remember this historical figures and all that, like which were like there are some famous personalities.
No one is going to ask you what is this the name of this particular figure over here as such. The topology may be asked, but no one is going to ask you is it the Dr. Snow's visualization or Florence Nightingale's visualization.
Okay, sir.
The only advice which I have for you is go the exercise which I've asked you to regarding the GAs. Please do that. That's the crux of the entire revision sessions. I've been repeating this in every live session. I want to emphasize this particular point. Please take 2 hours to do that particular exercise once you go from this particular live session. Okay. I thought of going to the week contents as such, but to be honest, I don't feel the need of doing that. You have already gone to that, and you will agree that the content of these weeks is basic as such. Like if you understand about the data, you have done multiple courses about machine learning in your diploma level as well, and you have been dealing with data as such throughout. So I don't feel the need of going through these two weeks content as such from the starting as a scratch. But if you'll tell me to if you ask me to go through that, I'll do that. But as you know, the content is very basic. I'll be just reading up the slides. But if you have any questions regarding any of the week 4s, like you have very specific questions, please let me know that. I'm very happy to take that.
So, I have a question.
Yeah.
So the exercise that you mentioned, right, like exploring the other charts and stuff, that was only in the first grade assignment, right? Because the third one, which was based on this geovisualization that everyone had to create on their own. So you are mostly referring to that particular G, right, where everyone had picked some different kind of visualization and they were, go through that and come up with our own.
Because that particular assignment is rich of different types or different kinds of visualization.
Yeah. Okay.
So that will help you to even you can do that kind of an exercise if you're going to that particular exercise. If you look at particular visualization, you can try to bucket into different, like if you saw right in week 2 we have different types of visualization. You can keep bucketing it. Okay, this is this kind of a visualization, so it will be like a refresher to the week's content as well.
Yeah, sir. Good. Thank you.
Yeah. So for the in the week 3, important aspects, just give you important aspects which you need to look at. We have been mentioning like there have been a mention of different types of plots. You can see over here cartogram, heat maps, isoplot. Get an idea of how these things are different from each other. What are the various variants of this particular visualization? That is kind of and how they are different from each other. How the effectiveness increases, decreases. All that you do it that kind of an exercise. Any other question? Someone raised or someone trying to enter? Huh. Anything else, guys?
No, sir.
It's not relevant to the exam, but when will we getting our score for third GA? I mean, the second grade assignment.
See, it every like the deadline was 12th, right? So
Yeah.
evaluation process will start, and before that we have to release the quiz 1 scores as well. So please expect that the quiz 1 score will come before the results of GA 2. That is one thing. And in subjective, no. And what was the entire question? I hope that answer your question, Manav. If you have any clarifications, please let me know. And before this, what I was saying? Before this question?
Yeah, you're talking about the quiz marks after
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, so please expect that the scores for the quiz 1 will come before GA2. Yeah, since you all are here, I just want to mention one thing. This week, Friday, we have released week 6, right? And in the week 6, there is a practice assignment. And if you have, I'm not sure, I'm not sure even a single person has gone to that particular week because of the quiz. So I'll just give you an heads up on what is there in the week 6. This particular assignment is not here. Okay. So basically what is there in the week 6 and what is expected out of you is we'll be having one of the live sessions. Every student who wants to, make a submission for this assignment will be giving a presentation in the live sessions. And just a second, let me see if I can pull up that particular assignment.
So, sir, even in week 2, there was a practice assignment requiring a presentation. So, for that also, will there be a presentation to be made?
See, I'll tell you the difference. I'll understand your question. And let me tell you one thing. Okay, this is the practice assignment 2, which is there. Basically, there are various multiple sort of tools that have been mentioned over here. Like there are like about 18, 19 tools are there, and there are more tools.
Sorry, your screen is not visible.
My screen is not visible. Okay, I hope it's visible now. So as you can see, in this particular assignment, you have been asked to give you have been asked to explore one of the tools which have been mentioned over here. Over here, like there are like about 80 which are there. What you will be doing is you will be going to like exploring one of the tool. Please choose variety of tools so that everyone from your presentation can learn. For example, if Sashi wants to go and give a presentation about the plotly, I would be very happy that if some other student who is giving the presentation picks up another tool, which may be, let's say, timeline.js, so that the person who are in the presentations or listening to your presentation also gets exposure on what are the various tools which they are doing. So what is expected out of this assignment is that you will be given time. There is no week 7 as such. There is no week 7 as such in this particular. We'll see how the dates are. But what is expected out of you is you will be exploring these tools, and then in the live session you will be presenting. And based on the presentation, there is 5 marks bonus for this assignment. So that like total of 10 marks bonus is there. 5 marks is coming from this PA2 and 5 marks is coming from PA1.
Sir, how to choose who is going to present what?
You choose yourself.
Okay.
I'll be circulating a Google form as such. We'll be seeing up. I didn't, put it over here. What we can do is we'll be circulating a Google form here.
Okay.
Or some sort of mechanism will be there which will be telling you how many of people have picked up what tool.
Okay.
So you can see, right, what other people have picked up the tool, so that you pick a unique tool as such, so that everyone can learn from each other. This is like a peer learning system which is there, and it will be beneficial for all of you, to be honest. Like we cannot just go and master all the tools by ourselves. But if we have an understanding of what different tools are there, these tools, why I'm focusing on this is because these tools will help you in your project. If you have understanding of various visualization tools which are there to plot a particular plot, this will help you in your project. So though the deadline for PA2 over here has been returned to be 31st December because this is a practice assignment,
But for the bonus consideration, we'll be having one meeting link at such probably after the quiz. We'll finalize it. Just you, if you have any suggestions, please give me based on your workload. There might be some OPPs for your other courses. Like just put it throughout your suggestions on when can we have this kind of PPT after the quiz tomorrow. That will be beneficial for me to plan as well. But I hope you have got an understanding of what is expected out of PA2.
Yes, sir.
Sir, like I don't know if there are 50 people, each one can't present, right?
Yeah, like I understand each one can't present that as well, like because the strength is 80.
Okay.
Based on the interest, because not everyone will be submitting the PA2 as well. That is also my, because this is for the bonus and not everyone submit the bonus assignments. There will be a poll on how many of you are planning to submit the PA2. We'll see, we'll figure out the modalities of this. But I'm just giving a step on what has come.
Yeah.
So that you are prepared when these such announcements are made. And today was the right. I know you have a quiz, and this is immaterial as such because you might be stressed about the quiz right now. But because not many students join the live sessions every week, the strength is like 5 to 8. But today we have good amount of strength, so I thought that is a good point to bring out that as well. By next week, we'll be announcing the project team and everything also. Please be active on the G space. Also keep a tap on the emails which will be coming from the post. I think with this, I am winding up. If you have doubts, I will take your doubts. But all the best for the quiz. Please take the suggestion which I've given you in the slide sessions. Consider them because from my perspective, from my experience, I feel that those suggestions will really help you. Also, when just an heads up, just to give you an idea, you don't feel that. I'm not sure whether I have to mention that because you might be already stressed about that. So we'll discuss that in the next live session. Right now, that's all from my side. Anything, if you have anything else, please let me know. I hope the session was helpful for you to get an overview of what is expected from you in the quiz, how you can prepare for it, even though you have left with only, but that exercise which I've given you is only for 2 hours. Okay, there are a few questions over here. What will be the bonus mark? 5 plus 2.5 marks. 5 marks for assignment 1, 5 marks for assignment 2. Like for example, PA1 is of 5 marks, PA2 is of 5 marks, total bonus is 10 marks. PA2, you can do it now as well. The deadline for the PA2 will be consolidating the submissions once the project starts, like the presentations of the project starts. So you have about 1 month time for that as well right now. So that is the only thing why we are putting the the deadline for PA2 before the PA1 is because whatever you will want to do in PA1 as such, right, is PA2 is will be helping you to start with your project quickly. You don't need to look for how to use that tool and what you won't be spending a lot of time understanding the tool because your peers would have already helped you with that. Yeah, so that's all from my side. If you have any questions, please let me know.
Yes, sir. Just to clarify, actually, there was an email one day ago, I guess, in which it was mentioned that NTERM eligibility.
That is not
something like
applicable
that.
for our course.
Yeah.
That was a journal mail. That is not applicable for our course.
Okay, sir.
Because we don't have 7 assignments as such. We have only 5 assignments.
Yeah, and we don't have NTERM either, right? So.
But please look at the grading policy if there is like who all are eligible for like what is eligibility for getting the final grade. So you see over here, this is the eligibility to attend the final. Yeah, for the getting the final course grade, you should score 50 on the group project. So if you don't present the group project right, and you don't score more than 50 in that is the problem there. Also, please look for the graded assignment. It's some of best 3 out of 5 assignments as such. Max bonus is for 10 marks. Please go through the grading policy once. All right. I think with this we can call off the sessions. Thank you so much for joining. I'll be here for 2 more minutes if you have anything to ask. Others, if you want to leave, you may leave. Thank you so much for joining. I hope the session was fruitful and it will help you. All the best for the quiz.
Thank you.
A bit
Thank you, sir.
irrelevant from
Thank
the
you, sir.
material. How do you get our physical written? Do you get a scanned copy of it, or do you get a physical copy delivered to the campus or the professor?
See, I'm ending the subject. So how the modalities are, I think we'll be getting the scanned copies for each student. See, getting the hard copy from West Bengal to Chennai or
Yeah,
to
it's
the
a scanned copy actually, which is sent.
yeah,
I have had the experience of checking the handwritten copies earlier actually.
yeah, will be getting the scanned copies as well. You need not to worry about the modalities on how we'll be getting the copies, what if your copies get missed, and all that. That will be taken care of, because this is not the first time the subjective assignments have been conducted. There are multiple courses for which we have the subjective assignments. Probably this might be your first, and there might be people who have already given multiple subjective assignments. But make sure will be like there will be no such like you know mishaps from which will hamper your scores. If you have appeared for the exam, your copies will be evaluated. To be very sure, but the only thing which I would say is don't forget to write your roll numbers correctly on your sheets and everything. How many of you are doing this course, like this degree, as a sole degree? Because the people who have experience with the offline courses, there you have experience with the subjective assignments, but in this degree itself, they like you have not been exposed to the subjective assignments as such. So how many of you are there for this kind of assignment? All right, there are few, right? So it would be like for the people who have the experience, you really they they know how the subjective assignments goes. But for you, like whatever we have discussed, if you follow that, you are very in very safe zone.
So it will be just like blank sheets with, and we have to go section by section and write our answers, right?
Yeah, you will be given a sheet, whatever like part A, question 1, part A, question 2, whatever the
Okay.
things are there for you. Just write that and write your answer on the paper. These copies will be subjectively evaluated by instructors and the professors. So human is evaluating your copies, right? So make sure that you are writing, having a good hand. You are using readable hand. You have a readable handwriting. Whatever text you're writing is readable. Apart from that, human is evaluating your copies. So don't need to worry about that. These are not your copies are not being evaluated by the any other tools, or they are not auto graded.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. If no other question is there, can we end the call now?
Okay. Thank
Sure,
Well,
sir. Thank you so much for the
yeah,
session.
thank you so much, friends, for joining. All the best for your quiz. Thank you, sir.